Hello everyone and welcome to AFROTURKTV. Today we join you from our studio here in Ankara, Turkey to continue our discussions on the development of Ziraat Katılım in Africa. I bring in Osman Karakütük, the Executive Vice President at Ziraat Katılım, to discuss this in details. Hello, Mr. Osman.
Hello, everyone. It's a big pleasure to be here.
You're very welcome, and we are glad that you are here on the channel today. So I'd like to start with the very first question. Could you give us a brief history of Ziraat Katılım itself?
Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Ziraat participation, we are calling it Katılım Bank. Katılım means participating. Participating with our clients means. Ziraat Katılım, Ziraat Participation Bank, established in 2015, especially for the people who has Islamic sensitivity in Turkey. We are part of Ziraat Finance Group. Ziraat Finance Group, the biggest finance group in Turkey. It has at least 1,800 branches in Turkey and 110 connections in all over the world. And we are facilitating in Turkey for 10 years. In 10 years' time, the Ziraat Katılım Bank has managed many successful targets. It has become the second biggest bank, Islamic bank in Turkey. We are dealing with Islamic finance, and we are dealing with mostly people who has Islamic sensitivity, but we are serving all sorts of clients. Especially, we are very keen on corporates, commercials, and big SMEs mostly. And also, we are now in the agriculture sector. We are loaning to agriculture sector. We are financing big farmers, companies who has this agriculture facility. And we have now reached 200 as a Ziraat Katılım Bank. We have reached 215 branches domestically, and we have 2 branches, overseas branches in African continent. We have in Sudan a branch. Now in Sudan, you know, there is a war, internal war in the Sudan, and the situation now not available for banking, especially in the center capital of the Khartoum. That's why we moved all operations to Port Sudan. Now our branch is facilitating in Port Sudan city in Sudan, and now we have a branch in also Mogadishu in Somalia, and it has started its facilities since 2023. Almost it is 2 years old, and it's facilitating very carefully for the people, Somalia people especially. But we are exploring some other countries to facilitate, to establish new branches, maybe new subsidiaries. Now, as a whole, the Ziraat Participation Bank in Turkey, if we talk about the whole banking sector, it became the 12th biggest bank in Turkey. This is a fascinating thing for a bank in Turkey, because in Turkey the competition is very high, especially in banking sector. Not only we are competing with other Islamic banks, but also we are competing with other conventional banks. Because the aim of the bank is to make the share in the Islamic, the banking sector, make the share of the Islamic finance in banking sector at least 15%. But for this aim, the Ziraat Participation Bank giving a big effort to the industry, and Ziraat Katılım Bank is a state-owned bank, and the government especially enforcing this area mostly to make the Islamic share in Turkey more. And day by day, the awareness of the people, especially in Turkey, to the Islamic finance growing so fast. And with this awareness, we are coming bigger and getting more share from industry. I believe that in 5 years' time, the Ziraat Participation Bank will be in top 10 bank in Turkey, and also the biggest Islamic bank in Turkey. And I think we will open new overseas branches in African continent.
All right, there. Thank you very much, Mr. Osman, for that brief history that you've given to us about Ziraat Katılım. So you also mentioned about, branches being opened in countries like Sudan. Why did Ziraat Katılım choose Africa as its first international branch?
Yes, that's a good question, especially our colleagues, our correspondent banks, our peers also asking this question. Why you opened your first overseas branch in Sudan and the second branch in Somalia? Why Africa? We are seeing Africa as a big potential area, especially as a Ziraat Katılım, the big countries which has Muslim population in our target. But mostly the south part of the Africa, we believe that has a big potential. Why? Because especially Turkish investors also have a big appetite for these countries. We want to make their financial needs, financial problems make it easier, and to compensate their all financial needs, and to attract new investors to these countries, especially like Somalia, like Sudan. But maybe in the near future, we will open new branches in South African countries. And these countries has a big potential, what I am saying, especially in terms of agriculture, in terms of mining, in terms of production, and most of them has lack of banking facilities. They need very sophisticated banking international ties. That's why we are providing international banking solutions to the investors, to businessmen in these countries, and make them make their problems easier. We are solving their financial problems, and this is very significant for us and for them also, because making some financial bridge between countries, very significant, especially for Turkey to attract new investors. These countries, very important financial, especially from Turkey to these countries, from these countries to Turkey, the financial bridge very significant to make easier trade. This is very significant. That's why we saw these countries very attractive, and also they have big potential. We can say that we invest for their future and their big potential, we can say.
All right, there. So you've talked about the advantages that, this bank offers to Turkey in general and to the Turkey banking sector. So what are the advantages that you think that the bank offers African investors and individuals in this vast region to encourage them to choose Ziraat Katılım? And what is Ziraat Katılım's vision and its general awareness to the African continent?
Yes, thank you for this question. Especially Ziraat Participation Banks wants to enlarge the asset size, the share of the Islamic finance, not only in Turkey, but also the other regions. That's why first aim to introduce the Islamic finance solutions to the new customers, especially for the companies. And also to make things easier for especially to investors. What kind of things we are delivering to our clients, you can ask. Firstly, we are opening the gates to them all over the world. We have a diversified correspondent relations, not only in Turkey, but also all over the world, especially global banks. We are working very well. And also the other regions, for example, not only in Africa, Asia, US, European countries, and also we have a wide range Ziraat Finance Group channels. That's why it's also providing to clients diversified financial hubs. And if you want to, for example, make some business with other areas, for example, in Asia, in Europe, or in US, we are providing to them some kind of services, and also we are making their business easier. And also, especially, we are very keen on trade finance. We are solving the trade problems with the other companies. We are negotiating with them. Also, we are attracting some investors to country, especially in Turkey. Most of the investors do not aware that they have a big potential in these countries, in Somalia, in Sudan, in other regions also. We are acting like a representative office for them, especially if they see that Ziraat Katılım is facilitating in these countries, they feel very comfortable and they do not hesitate to enter the country, and they are making some invest through our bank and also our branches. And also we have a very talented, very experienced staff in these branches, and they are introducing some products to the importers, exporters, to make their business easy. And if they need some financing, we are also finance them. Especially, we are very keen on, as I said, exports, manufacture sector. In Turkey, most of our loanings belongs to manufacture sector, and also we want to enforce the manufacture sector in these countries, especially in Somalia and in Sudan. But as I said before, we are exploring new areas which has a big potential, and I think near future we will also open new channels in some of countries in African continent.
Definitely, definitely. Now, how do you see the future of banking in Africa being shaped? So, like, what developments do you foresee in the future, like in terms of digitalization, the financial inclusion, and, participation banking in general?
Firstly, I want to say something about the banking solutions especially in some kind of countries like Somalia's, like Sudan, and also, for example, Nigeria. We recognize that the mobile banking solutions very developed, very sophisticated in these countries because of their geographical position. They have wide range clients, especially retail side. They have to reach very wide, very big lands, especially in local banks. That's why they establish very sophisticated and well-developed banking solutions, mobile banking solutions. That's why it is a very good thing for us and also the local banks. That's why we can say that mobile banking is well developed in these countries. But the main problem, especially in Sudan and Somalia, like this other also some kind of countries, international banking is an main issue. Because local banks connections with other global banks, especially in US, European countries, not well developed. That's why we are opening gates to these also banks and banking sector. We are dealing with international banking in Turkey, and also we are bringing the international banking experience to these countries. That's why I think with our making business style, given and standards, given a standard to these countries' banking sector also. We are learning something from these countries also, because the local banks acting different style, because every country's culture, every country's banking culture is very different from other countries. Even in Turkey, we have a different banking culture, although our banking sector's standards, international standards, but the style of business a little bit differs from other countries. That's why we can say that in these countries, especially, you have to learn the behavior of the people, the behavior of the companies, business style. You have to learn the culture also very different. That's why we are learning many things from these countries also. But we are bringing our experience, our banking style, our also culture to these countries. I think with these we are merging our experience, our knowledge, our international connections, and we are giving a big contribution to banking sector of these countries and also their economies also.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Now, in recent years, Turkey has made many strides in different sectors. We have sectors like trade, media, defense, and even education. And healthcare, I would also like to add that in the African continent. Do you think that the opening of Ziraat Katılım in these African countries will really contribute to the development between Turkey and Africa? As the relationship has been growing, do you think it will contribute even to better growth in the future?
Yes, as you mentioned, Turkey has a big appetite for African content, especially investors in Turkey turning their face to African countries. Why this is happening? Because of diversifying their trade, foreign trade. Especially after pandemic, we learned that dealing with only one or two regions is bringing some risks for your trade. That's why you have to diversify your trade and also business to other countries. African continent has a big potential, as I said before. That's why you have to eventually you have to find new markets, new opportunities. With the appetite of the investors in Turkey, eventually bringing some needs, financial needs. If you want to invest in these countries, you have to secure your investment, secure your financial, and you need some financing also. Financing problems also you have to solve it. That's why we know that we have a big responsibility to solve these investors' problems, especially in terms of financing, and also with us, the trade between Turkey and the African countries increase rapidly, and we believe that the awareness also to investors in Turkey also grow because when they learn that we have a branch in Somalia, for example, in Mogadishu, they understand that they can invest easily to these countries. That's why, especially Ziraat Katılım acting as a representative in these countries to attract new investors and new businessmen. That's why our role in these countries is very significant, and we aware of our responsibility, and we know that we have to do more every time. We cannot stop, or we cannot act at a stable position. We have to always be keen on, especially to attract the investors' appetite to these countries.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Osman Karakütük, for sharing your time and your knowledge with us today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a big pleasure, as I said. It's an honor also. I believe that African continent, and especially South African countries' potential is very high. The future also very brilliant, and we are exploring the places. And Turkey will be a main actor in these countries. And we believe that with their investors, with new businessmen, I think the future of Turkey and also the African continent brilliant. Thank you for your time also. It's a big pleasure for me.
Thank you very much. We are really grateful. We've been speaking with Mr. Osman Karakütük, who is the Executive Vice President at Ziraat Katılım. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and we're really grateful, for your attention and for sharing your time with us. If you'd like to send us questions or any suggestions on the next episode or any other episode, you can always do so on our WhatsApp number, which is always on the screen. So I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.